Hey man, just giving you a quick call. I just wanted to let you know that you are so close, dude. You're so much closer than you think. A lot of these big goals that we've had and these big aspirations, they're right around the corner for you, dude. So you just cannot give up. So stoked for you to see this. P.S. We bought a Lambo. So keep going, bro. We'll talk soon. Peace.
Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Bryson. This is the Bryson Everyday Project podcast. This podcast is a little bit different than other ones out there. Here, I only focus on documentation. I don't focus on quality or being professional or being entertaining. If that sounds like something you're interested in, I'd love for you to stick around and give the show a listen. You can also follow me on Instagram at BRQUSE. Thank you so much. Here's the show. Hey, what's going on? It's Friday, December 26th. What, did I already record a show? What the fuck? Hold on. I said that date already. No, I guess I didn't. I don't know why I thought I did. That's so weird. Well, what's up? Today's Friday, December 26th, 2025. And it's 7:05 p.m. And today, I actually recorded some videos talking about the Blade app. And I'm glad that I did that. I don't know if I'm going to post these specific ones, but I think I have a good, idea of how to go about recording videos maybe and talking about what I'm going to talk about. Because my goal was to record it in, 2 or 3 videos, but I'm looking now, I have 15. So it's 15-minute long explanation. I got to get to the point quicker, dude. That's a big problem I have. I just continuously go on, but there's a lot of gold that I captured here. And I want to post it. So I think I might just send it. And if anybody wants to learn more about the app, then they can. I don't know. Just post it on my story. I mean, it's not going to hurt anything. And I'll just record better ones later. Yeah, final answer. That's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to post them, fuck it, and then we'll go from there. All right, cool. Well, yeah, I recorded that. That's cool. And it was actually really interesting to talk about stuff about the app because I felt like the entire time I was just fired up and I was stoked to talk about the app and what it does, and I got really passionate at some points, and that's cool. I think it's always a good sign if I can do that. I wouldn't say that is the only thing that is an indicator of I'm on the right path or anything like that, but I do think it helps. I do think it is some form of indication, but anyway, I'm going to post those probably on my story and then make a little highlight. I don't know if I can make a carousel post of 15 videos. Maybe I can. I don't know. Matter of fact, why don't we check really quick? I also was... Fuck is this? All right, let's just watch this real quick. Fuck it.
Not some random, trust me, bro.
It's about Ghost.
This is real. All of this information is coming directly from Ghost Lifestyle, confirmed inside the Price Plow Discord. So let's clear it up.
Okay, I already know exactly what kind of fucking thing this is. I believe that what they're going to say is it's some kind of promo because of how they set this up. They're not getting straight to the point. There's no breaking news. That's what it looks like. It's probably going to be some release of flavor, or it's my prediction. This shit pisses me off.
Officially becoming a permanent flavor in the lineup, which has already been leaked, but now it's officially confirmed. And this matters because it actually opens up more collabs with Max tuning, and that wasn't always possible. The reason Ghost couldn't do more collabs with Max wasn't because of creativity, it was because of Mondelez. Mondelez owns...
I couldn't give a fuck. Yeah, that's actually a problem with social media right there. I opened it up, was already on a mission of what I was going to try to upload, and then that caught my attention, and I got sucked in. And then I already knew the fucking pattern of these posts, and I was correct. They're just promoting a flavor. But they started off with breaking news from Ghost, and the thumbnail makes it look like it's some tragic shit. So, whatever. As if it's going to say something to the extent of chemicals found and it causes this. Anyway, so let's see if I can post something.
Listen up.
Shut the fuck up. Let's see. So post. Can I do select? Let me just do what I want to do. Dude, fucking Instagram. Okay, let's see how many I can select. Well, I'll be damned. I can select them all. All right, I just want to take some time to explain what the Blade app is all about, and hopefully. All right, I just want to take some time to explain what the. All right, I just want to. All right, I just want to. All right, I just want to take some time to explain what the Blade app is. Okay, fuck all this. And hopefully by the end. Okay, well, goddamn, dude, I don't want shit to autoplay ever. Okay, anyway, getting pissed. So I can. So I'm gonna make a post about it. It's going to be 15 minutes long. If you want to watch it, you can. There you go. But yeah, I got my Apple developer account set up, so that's pretty cool. It actually took multiple days to do. You just got to wait for whatever you call it, verification. I don't know. Here's another observation that I'm just now noticing. So when I posted about the app, I had a lot of people reach out and they said that they were stoked and they want to be part of it, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And they wanted to test it out. They're interested. And probably 15 total people, including family. So pretty cool. And I have since posted about it on social media. And I've only had 3 people fill out the form. And the 3 people who did fill out the form, I also sent direct messages to. So either everybody who was excited about it or had any interest was full of shit, and they just want to support, which is cool, but it's not an app for them, which is also fine. But I want people that are going to be using the app to test it. It's all good. So we got 3 form fill outs, and pretty much all of them are the same exact thing. Looking for new challenges. This is cool. So I'm going to make sure. So this person is Apple. This person is Apple. This person is Apple. Okay, cool. So that's pretty sweet. But yeah, the more people that can test it and use it, the better. I do feel very confident about how everything is right now. I actually ran some prompts today asking AI to find all the issues in the code as it pertains to security and authentication and privacy and all that shit. And it just found odds and ends of things, found a lot of obvious shit because I'm just testing it out and building things. And so there are a lot of issues, and my contact lens is fucking up right now. Ouch. And it found a lot of things, which is expected. So pretty much what I did was I said, find all the ways that this app lacks privacy or lacks any kind of encryption or any kind of issue, anywhere that it lacks in security, essentially. It gave me all these things. I said, okay, so turn this into a list that we will future-proof, fix, patch, whatever. And then I just turned that into a prompt and gave it right back to it. And then it polished everything off. So I had to do a lot of things manually because there's some stuff that it kind of goes between multiple softwares, I guess, or systems, or I don't even know what the shit is called. So I had to take care of that, move some different, whatever you call that stuff, I don't even know, URLs and keys and tokens, had to move that to a private spot so anybody who has access to the code can't just see my shit. It's only me or whoever I give access to. Also made a super admin interface, and that would be for me, so I can control things and use things and do a whole bunch of that shit within the app rather than having to push out an update on my computer or something like that. I mean, I have the shit I don't even know about, so I'll figure it out. I'm not worried about it, but it's pretty much what I did today. And then I worked out, felt really good actually. So I want to do a Murph a week. That is my goal. I don't know how long the goal is, but I think it'd be cool to do a Murph workout once a week and just improve upon that and see if I can break into a certain time frame of people doing it. I think I really like the Murph workout so much because it's just raw movements. You don't need any weight. You don't need anything. I mean, it's all body weight stuff. It's all endurance. I mean, I would say it's endurance because you go for time, you go for speed. So as fast and as quickly as you can do the movements and the reps and everything like that, then you're good to go. In case you don't know, a Murph is a mile run followed by 100 push-ups. 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, and then 300 squats, and then followed by another mile run. And because I have been lazy and not exercising as much as I should have, I have lost a lot of strength, but I'm not worried about that because me being, I guess, 28, having the gym experience that I have, I mean, I'm not trying to take this for granted, but strength does come back fairly quickly. And I would say there's muscle memory there as well, so not too concerned there. I mean, it does suck. I mean, for example, certain movements, I just feel like a weak bitch, and it's all good because I did it to myself. But anyway, I have been inching my way back up because when I worked up on base, so this was half a year ago, I tried a Murph, and I ran a mile, and that was so hard for me. Because I ran a mile, very hard for me. Started doing pull-ups and push-ups and squats, And I didn't even make it. I think I have a podcast talking about this. And so whatever episode it was, probably 200 ago, I stopped halfway through the Murph and pretty much just quit. Didn't really feel good about myself then, but I could not even breathe. So maybe that was my limit then. And then since then, I've done different things where, so I went to the gym with Lexi, I don't know, a month ago, and I did the pull-up and the squat part of the Murph. I didn't do any push-ups, so I did 100 pull-ups, and then I did 300 squats, and that was it. And then today, oh, by the way, I was sore in my lats for a full week, just so sore, and it's just crazy because of how out of shape I have gotten. I wouldn't say I'm out of shape. I am just unconditioned, very unconditioned. So I've noticed a trend. So lately when people ask, just, family, you still lifting like you used to? You still in the gym getting strong and all that stuff? And every time I say, oh, yeah, they say, oh, are you really? And that's happened 4 times, actually. My grandpa, my dad, my mom, and I don't think, I can't remember who the other person was. But it's not in a, oh, really? You still are? You don't look like it, you weak. It's not like that. But it is in a way of, oh, I had no idea that. But to me, it sounds like they see that I am tiny. And so they are perplexed that I am because I do not look like it. And that's how I perceive it. So don't like that. But anyway, today I did the Murph besides the running, and I feel like my running has improved a lot. So I'm excited to actually give a full Murph a go. I do believe that the official rule for a Murph is to wear a 20-pound weight vest. And I'm going to just not use a weight vest right now. I'm just going to focus on getting a Murph done. And then so I have a weighted vest, but I don't even know what kind. So it's a cap one. That's the brand, Cap. But it's double decker. There's 2 rows, I guess, of where you can insert weights. And it goes all the way down to my belt line. And I think what you're supposed to do is get one of those weighted vests that only cover your chest, really, and then a little bit of your back, or just your back. So that way it's almost like a little backpack, but it's very tight to you, so you can run with it. Because I tried jogging with mine, and I believe it goes up to 40 pounds because you can put 10 pounds on each row. There's 4 rows, 2 in the front, 2 in the back. But when I was running, it wasn't tight at all, so it was just bouncing on my shoulders. It was very uncomfortable. So I don't want to do that. I would rather have one that is correct and tight to my torso. So I'm just going to do a Murph with body weight and the running. And I don't know when I'm going to do that because I just kind of did all the workouts today. But it was so enjoyable to just go out into my garage and do that, because I can talk about that now. I think I talked about it yesterday, but I bought a whole ass home gym. And actually, as I record the show, Lexi is downstairs getting it on. So that's pretty cool. And it's cool because she gets talked to a lot at the gym for multiple reasons. And I know that is so annoying for her. She is not a fan of it. And this in no way is why I bought this home gym, but it is probably a percentage. I always try to weigh how this is going to improve quality of life. And if it does improve quality of life by enough measure, then I think it's a good investment. I think that's a great rule of thumb whenever you're trying to buy something or trying to do something. If it's a quality of life improver, or if it's going to save you time, or if it's going to make things easier or more convenient, I think that is always worth whatever the cost is, So that's just my 2 cents. Maybe I should make a whole episode about it. If it improves your quality of life, I just don't think it's really hard to put a price tag on a quality of life improver. I don't know. For example, this desk I have right here, it can go up and down. It's a standing desk. And even if I didn't stand, just the fact that I can move it up and down an inch or maybe 3 inches or whatever, just so nice. I don't have to worry about the arm length of my chair. I don't have to worry about my knees touching it if I want to sit with one leg over the other, or if I want to prop one up like a doctor or whatever, I don't have to worry about that because I just have a little button. I press it, it raises, lowers. It's just wonderful. And this desk was something like $350. You can go get a shitty desk I don't want to say shitty, a brand new desk on Amazon, just a small thin one, probably for $50. But by paying 7 times the price, I now can stand, I can sit, I can raise it higher, raise it lower when I'm sitting or standing, and it's a 9-day difference, you know? Another thing that's a quality of life is I used to have a gallon jug, and I would drink the gallon jug, and I would just fill it up at my old place because I could put the whole jug down in the sink, and then I could turn on my water filter thingy. Damn it, I said, Ooh, I do so good. Can't remember what it's called. A Brita? Brittle? Britty? I don't fucking know. A Brita. It's got to be. Brita? Brita. Whatever it is. Water filter. So I'd put that up and I would just let my jug, I would set my jug down and I'd flip on the switch and it would just fill my water up and I didn't have to tend to it. But now, it doesn't, well, it still would work, but I think Lexi and I don't want to have that shit on our counter. So even though it still would work, we have one on our fridge now. So we can put our bottles up there and fill it up with the fridge. And there's some filter in there, which is cool. But the issue is that the gallon jug doesn't fit under there. And so I don't want to sit there and have to hold it at an angle and push on it at the same time. I don't want to have to do that. I want to be able to do multiple things. I mean, that's my problem. I like to multitask with certain things. It's just, let me finish this thought before I dive into something else. So I said, this is stupid. I'm good. So I bought a smaller bottle for the sole purpose that it would fit in the spot where I can fill up water. So now all I have to do is put my bottle on the thingy that holds the water, and I can just press my finger on the button that fills the water, and coincidentally it stops at 64 ounces. So all I have to do, I don't even have to pay attention to it because it'll stop automatically. To me, I would have paid $100 for that because it is, I don't want to have to sit there and hold the thing at an angle and monitor the water and make sure that everything is good to go, and that I just might sound so stupid to somebody, but for me, life-changing, quality of life improvement, worth the money. And this bottle was $20. So small little things like that. So anyway, went downstairs, did my workout, and I did the Murph, and I just had a good time. I had listened to a podcast for a little bit, and then I just turned it off. I was working out in silence. And I don't think I've ever worked out in pure just, I don't even know what you say, pitch silence, pitch dark, pitch absolute silence. Because when you go to these goddamn public gyms, they're always blasting music. There's always so many people there talking. There's no silence there. And you can even put your headphones in and turn on the noise canceling. You know, it's great, but it doesn't, still not silent. You can still hear stuff. But when I was able to just turn off the podcast, I was just in my garage. There's no noise. I mean, it's very silent in there. The only noise that I heard was my feet hitting the ground, you know, pulling upward on the bar and hearing the metal squeak or whatever, or not squeak, but I don't know, certain bands or whatever that was hanging up, plates on the side clanging, you know, that's all I would hear. And then I would do body weight squats or whatever. And then if I'm actually using the weights or you know, doing deadlifts, all I hear is just the plates. And for me, that is just a beautiful thing. So that is worth a lot, I would say. So home gym setup, worth quite a lot, but I don't know. I guess I just see all this stuff differently. If it's net positive, it's a quality of life enhancement, it's really hard to put a price tag on it. So I don't know. For example, if there was some software or some thing that I could do where I could just, as soon as I'm done recording, it generates a transcript, it uploads it with the intro outro, puts it in MP3 format, puts it into Podbean, uploads the transcription. If I could do that automatically, and this thing or this product was $400, I would buy it right now, no questions asked, because God damn it, it's just such a pain in the ass to do all this stuff. So anyway, had a good time with that. Now, and then so Lexi got home a little bit later, almost as I was finishing my workout, and then she came down to start her workout, but I stayed down there and we actually moved some stuff around. She had some good ideas with moving some of the equipment around so that it wasn't so ugly looking and things like that. Save some space, move some things around, make it look better, a little bit cleaner, organized. And so I have a weight tree, and it's got let me think about this. It's probably got 400 pounds on the weight tree. And so I had to take all the 400 pounds off one little bit at a time. And then I moved the weight tree to the other side of our garage, or another wall. And then we set it up again. And this was just to make more room for things, and kind of, it was cool because, I set everything up kind of with both of us in mind, but it was mainly what I believed would be used and where the most, depending on who's using it. I don't know. And you don't know until you try. And then she said, why don't we put this over here and then put these over here on this rack, and we should put this over here, put the dumbbells, and, So I thought, that's genius, because that's going to free up more room. We have less space here. It's perfect. So that worked out great. And now the space is much more tidy, and it just looks better. So hell yeah. And so even though I finished my workout, moving all that weight and moving things around, that itself was a mini workout. It's the kind of thing that you do, and then some... You guys hear that? Oh, someone's getting arrested. It's one of those things where some naive fuck says, oh, you got your workout in for the day? And you put a bike on the third floor or something. No, motherfucker. Shit gets me so upset. Oh, you got your workout in for the day, huh? Nope. Oh, just a warm-up, bud. All good. Okay, well, anyway. So now what's on the agenda is to get what I've built in the app onto Apple, and then it'll be good for testing. I truthfully don't know how much I'm going to test, and maybe this is me being very naive, but there's so much that just works the way it should, and I don't know what could be tested because I have tested everything as I've gone along. It's not like I threw 300 prompts at it and it looks good and I don't know if it works. I make sure that when I throw a prompt in there, it works and does exactly what I should. So if I say, hey, when I create a task, it needs to pop up with this, I need to be able to select this, and after I select this or that, it needs to show X, Y, and Z. And I go through and I test it to make sure it does that. And then if it does, then I move on to the next thing. So again, maybe I'm just being too naive, but I've tested so much already. Part of me wants to skip the whole thing and then just put it out there. But I don't know. I don't know. Kind of tricky, but either way, I'm stoked about this. I'm probably going to start using this myself and actually make it a part of my daily routine. That's the whole reason why I made the app in the first place. And then start posting about it, and hopefully we can get some people using it. And if nobody wants to use it, it's all good because it's definitely going to help me. So at the end of the day, maybe it's a little side project or whatever for my life, but I do ultimately believe it will be great for personal branding long term. I've said it so many times here, but I do think it will be something that I think it'll be part of whatever I'm trying to build, and it'll be maybe the first official thing that has started and completed in the history of the show, because we started with a pre-workout and then we went to coaching, and I guess I didn't really start nor stop because I didn't do anything with that, but then there's that, and then we have working for coach. Well, actually that's false. I worked for coaches, that was successful. Offered my services, that was successful. So I guess I take back what I said. So I guess FitBiz and the pre-workout that I was going to make, those have been started but never finished. But I think I just totally pivoted away from the pre-workout. Kind of glad that I did. Or maybe, I don't know. Who knows? Who knows what the future holds? But I know this app is going to be, at the end of the day, this app is going to be very helpful for me. And I'm stoked to use it and to rank up my own shit and lead by example, I guess. So anyway. Also, I'm going to say this. I don't want to dive into it. Maybe I should because it's a crazy topic. But I have never thought for 1 second the earth was flat ever in my life. I think that flat earthers, I thought that flat earthers were just, how the fuck could you believe that? So I never even entertained the idea that it could be flat. Until I learned about flight lines, until I learned about the Antarctic Treaty, until I learned about the firmament it talks about it in the fucking Bible, And do I believe the Bible? I don't know. Do I know that do I even have proof that this treaty exists? I don't know. I mean, people say it is. What did I just say? What was the other one? Well, flight lines. The flight line, this might sound silly, but the flight lines thing really tipped me over the edge, pun intended, because there's certain flight lines and flight patterns if you're going from A to B to C. Because, for example, if someone flies from point A to point C, but they stop in point B, which is way out of the fucking way, that doesn't make sense. You know, think of a perpendicular, what is it called? A perfect triangle? I don't know what the word is for that. Isosceles? I don't know. No, it's not. Let's figure out what that is real quick. What's the name of a perfect? I mean, technically it can't be perfect because 33.3333 eventually has to be a 4. Otherwise it wouldn't be a... Is that even how that shit works? Am I dumb, dude? No, degrees don't work like that. It's 60 degrees because it makes a full... Percentages are that way. Is it isosceles? Oops. An equilateral triangle, also called a regular triangle or equiangular. Equiangular. That's a... Sorry, I cut off. That's a word, equiangular. Okay, well, anyway. Just imagine a triangle. If you're trying to go from one corner to the next corner, but then you throw in the third corner, that doesn't make sense. Why wouldn't you just go A to B? Why would you go A to C to B? You know, it doesn't make sense. But on a flat map, it makes perfect sense. And for me, that actually makes me question a lot. So much so that I went down the rabbit hole of all this shit, and I don't even know what the fuck I believe, but it has sparked so much holy shit moment or whatever. It sparked a lot of holy shit inside me. We'll call it that. Because if it says it in the Bible, and there's the... Honestly, what got me going was I thought, if we live in a society that wants us to shy away from God, what would they do to make us not believe in the God and pull the science thing, right? And I thought, holy shit, this is just one big lie. And then it made me think about dinosaurs, and made me think about the outer space, and made me think about flat Earth, round Earth, galaxy, all this shit. And this has opened up a lot inside my head, and I don't even know what the fuck's going on. But it has sparked so much that it makes me feel as though there's so much shit out there to make you shy away from a higher power, or God, or Jesus Christ, or any kind of religion. Because if we're talking about flat Earth shit, and then also the Bible says that there's a firmament separating the heavens, the waters above from the waters below, and we call them spaceship, and we call them, spaceship goes up, and then a ship in the water, ship. I mean, that's you're really reaching there. But anyway, it's got me thinking about religion, and not necessarily religion as much as just reading the Bible. And it was crazy because I just kind of went down that rabbit hole. And I was just looking at different... This is crazy, dude. It's really crazy. What set it off was flight lines. Because why would you do that? I mean, you could probably look it up for yourself right now. Go look at different flight patterns, different flights that are taken off from different places, and see where it takes you in the middle. And then compare that on a round Earth versus a flat Earth. It's really interesting. Because my argument was, why hasn't anybody fallen off the edge? That's fucking stupid. Show me a picture of the edge. But that doesn't necessarily exist because there's ice walls. Allegedly, there's ice walls, which is Antarctica, but it goes all the way around the surface of the Earth. And the reason why we can't go the other side is because we are prevented from doing that, prevented from flying over. We're prevented from doing all that shit. And so, yeah. And it's interesting because, I mean, I'm not sold on it, but I'm also not sold on the outer space galaxy shit. Who the fuck knows, It's interesting. If you look at photos of the Earth, CGI. If you look at satellites, CGI. You look at Antarctica on the Earth, CGI. It's just not real. There's even actually photos that show how things have been photoshopped. And I also think that I read that NASA, in Latin or something like that, means to deceive. Where is it? I don't think it's Latin. NASA means to deceive. In Hebrew. The fuck is it? Somebody. It's a coincidence that the acronym NASA has anything in common with Hebrew words, but in order to claim it means to deceive. So I don't know. Apparently in Hebrew, deceive means NASA. And I don't know if that's true or not. I read it, and I don't know. I doubt that it's real, actually, the more I look into it. So, hey, you live and learn. But I don't know. Just the whole thing sparked a lot of different questions in my brain. So much so, it makes me think that there really is so much push to remove God from our society that they really go to these extreme lengths to make these lies so that we believe that we are on some floating rock in the middle of the galaxy and that we are here because of science and not because there's a higher power. I've always claimed that I've been agnostic because I'm not, no, there is no God. There couldn't be. I would say that agnosticism, if that's what you even say, is just, I don't necessarily believe, but I'm not open. I mean, I'm not closed off to it. If we can figure out something, if you can show me something that would otherwise lead to this, then yeah, I'm open to believing. But I've never been shut off. Matter of fact, I've always been, I don't give a shit about religion, just be a good person. I've said that so much on the show. But I don't know, makes you think. And it's crazy because unless somebody else is even close to this type of rabbit hole type shit, they just look at you like you're crazy. I was talking to Lexi about this last night, and she's like, "You're crazy. This is crazy." And then I started trying to show her different things, and it's just crazy. You ever stop to just question the most? You know what? Alex Hormozy has a quote about this. What the hell is it? Or maybe it's not Alex Hormozy. We only question what we are unsure about, but never question what we are sure about. Oh, it is Alex Hormozy. Listen.
By Orson Scott Card, which is, we question all of our beliefs except for those that we truly believe and those we never think to question. I had one thing on my tombstone, a quote by Orson Scott Card, which is, we question all of our beliefs except for those that we truly believe and those we never think to question.
We question all of our beliefs. Hold on.
I had one thing on my tombstone, a quote by Orson Scott Card, which is, we question all of our beliefs except for those that we truly believe and those we never think to question.
We question all of our beliefs except the ones that we truly believe and those we never think to question. So, and it's true. I mean, yep, Earth is round, outer space, all good. Fully believe it. Just lots of photos. There's a whole space station. We're trying to get to Mars. It's got to be. What the fuck? But then if you question it, you find little holes and you poke the holes. I don't know. It's crazy. So I'm neither side, but goddamn, it makes you think. It makes you think. But I don't know. It has sparked so much inside me that I really went down the whole, yep, this makes sense, because how would you create a godless society? You would make everything scientific. You would say it's outer space. You would say that there's no ultimate creator, that it's a Big Bang theory where there's billions of life forms out there. The galaxy is expanding infinitely at the speed of light, and there's just no end. You can't comprehend infinity because it's so large. But then even if there was an end, what's on the other side of the end? It has to be something. Not that there has to be something as in there's more, but if there's nothing, nothing is something. So what is that something? And how long does that go? There's no... Goddamn, dude. I don't know. It's crazy to think about. So anyway, there's something to ponder about. So anyway, that's all I have. I'm gonna end there. I don't really want to dive into that, but it does make you think. So thank you guys for listening. That's the show. I think tomorrow's gonna be episode 800. That's pretty crazy. Do I have anything planned for it? No. All right. Thanks. Peace.